Eduardo Jumbo. In this tutorial, we're going to go over Kate editor review. So it's going to be a review of the Kate 25.08.0 running on my Fedora Linux installation. Before we begin, quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day, 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to ask any questions about programming or lifestyle topics. And what you do is you simply go to the article, you go to the live stream, then you can post your requests there. Or you can also just watch the embedded video in the article as well. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. So you might be noticing something different. I'm using the webcam today. There's a reason for that. Is because you see there's a little right about there grayish background. That's because it has rained a little bit today, so I thought it should clear up soon. I actually expect to go outside and work today. So the reason I say rain is because actually they powered for about 45 seconds. That's the most it has done, and then over the past hour or so it has been drizzling here and there, but there will be no water in the ground. It's still very dry. It's desert. Okay, enough of that. The other thing you'll notice is it's very quiet. There's a reason for that. I finally finished the build yesterday, so if it keeps on running today, I will probably do a review tonight, or most likely it'll be tomorrow or the day after. So I'm going to do an overview and I'll give you some tips and tricks for that. So let's get started today's tutorial, which is about Kate. Now, just when I was setting this up, I noticed an issue which I never had before. So there might be some quirks. Going forward. So I'll let you know if those are quirks that didn't happen before when I still had the NVIDIA graphics card and the old system, the Intel 2600. So I'll let you know. But I'm saying is that Kate actually did very, very well. I was very surprised. It did extremely well. Let's get started. So Kate is obviously an open source text editor. It's lightweight, it's feature packed, and it also might be a good solution for you. So why does it stand out? How did I install it, and how it can boost your productivity? So the way I installed it, I installed it from a Flatpak because I used GNOME desktop. I didn't want the KDE libraries to come in because it's maintained by the KDE. I don't know what KDE stands for. Is it a group or something? Yeah, a foundation. I think that's what I meant to say. So obviously it's promote the KDE, so I didn't want all of that onto my system, and especially if I might not like it. But I was very delighted, especially running in Flatpak. Very, very impressed with it, and you guys will see soon when we get into the review part of this tutorial. So it has plugins. I don't think I actually used any plugins. It's just the Flatpak version maybe has some plugins pre-installed, so that's even better. It's cross-platform. You can run it on Linux, Windows, and macOS. The reason for that is because it's KDE uses Qt, so that's obviously cross-platform. And you can tailor the editor to your specific needs as configurable themes, obviously, KDE, keyboard shortcuts, and very more. So on my Linux system, I could install in a command line typing sudo dnf install Kate, and then you can launch it. And then for others, for example, the Debian-based systems, it's apt install Kate. If you're on Windows, you can download it from using Brew. Brew, I believe, is also cross-platform. You install the package, and if you were to run it on Windows and macOS, on Linux as well. At least that's last time I took a look at it for a client. Okay, so Kate editor. It's kateeditor.org. As you can see here, it's available for Linux, Windows, and macOS. So you click on Get It, and then it'll take you here where you can download the Linux version. As you can see, the Flatpak, that's the one I said I used, and the snap packages as well. There's also app images. Those are all for Linux. Obviously, it also comes in your distribution. And for Windows, they now have it in the Windows Store. Or you can also download the nightly from the Kate editor.org, and you can also install using Chocolatey. And macOS, they have the nightly installer for ARM, and they have the nightly installer for Intel machines. And you can also get the source code if you want, and you can take a look at it as well. And also KDE is also they are requesting some donations. So remember, when people they make software like this, it's in their own free time. So if you can, just donate if you have the means. Okay, now that's it. I'll show you how I installed it first. I use the software manager. Here we go. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of glare. Okay, there we go. So I just typed Kate, and you see Kate is here, and you see it's installed Fedora Linux. You see, I didn't realize. So the one I installed was from Fedora, but it's from the Fedora. They have their own Flatpak repository. But you see, there's the RPM, and then the one from FlatHub. So the reason I didn't install the RPM is because I said it would drag in so many packages, which I didn't want onto my system at this time. So that's Kate. That's how I installed Kate. All right. So when you start up Kate, this is what you get. You see, there's an untitled. I already made some changes, as you can see. Obviously, I changed the theme. Hi Sasha, how are you doing? Okay, great. I'm doing well. As you can see, I was a little bit happy, like it rained a little bit today, so I'm hoping to. I was getting really worried there with the water situation because it hasn't rained in five months. Even what's happening right now, though it's cloudy, I don't expect it to last too long. All right. So as you can see, this is the live stream as well, as I promised. As you can see, there we go. It's pretty fast. Wow, that is really fast. So I guess the new system is working really well. All right. So before we begin the review, I have some glossary here, terms. So code editor, that's obviously where you type your code. The IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. That means there's tools, so you don't have to jump to the command line or use some third-party stuff. It's already integrated. That's the I stands for. A plugin is obviously enhances the application you have. For example, maybe something's missing, something as simple as say word count. You could get a plugin for that. Theme, obviously, that's simple. You can change the theme I'm referring to here is obviously just the syntax highlighting stuff. For example, you see this is a dark background. Obviously, when you start typing, it should be lighter. That's what I mean by theme. But some themes can also change up here and all this as well. And it's open source. The reason I prefer to use open source software is because I can tweak it if I need to. I can also go and obviously look at the code to make sure it's not tracking or doing some malicious, has malicious content, intent. And obviously, one of the things I dislike the reason I stopped using Windows is that when you upgrade your system, like you see, I upgraded my system yesterday. I use the same part, like I use the same case, I use the same memory, same hard drives, everything. So if I was using Windows, the first thing when it tries to boot the first time, it's going to accuse me of being a pirate, right? Even though I paid for the system many times over. So I really dislike that. So I don't want to be accused of, pirating or whatever. So I left, and I said I've been using since 2008. I've been using primarily open source software. The only times I use some proprietary software is when, for example, a client uses it. Obviously, I needed to use the same thing for work. And SCM, this stands for source code management. So just for the purposes for you guys, if you're new, that basically means Git. I mean, there are others like Subversion and several others, but for you guys learning, Git. And this LMB and MMB, those are pretty straightforward. L stands for left mouse button and M stands for middle mouse button or the scroll wheel, depending on the type of mouse you have. Okay, so this is dated now. This was my system. I didn't expect to get the system up and running so quickly, but I did. So I'm going to leave this here because by the time when I create this article, this was correct. Yeah, so this is the old system. I'm not going to bother talking about this. I'll talk about it one more time just as a comparison to the new system, so I'm not going to get into that. I just want to show that even if you have an old system, Kate flies. It was very, very fast. So this is my test suite. I have a very large file. It's 1 gig of human readable text. I have a regex file, so with a word like Kate, so that's where we can search and replace using a regular expression. That's what regex stands for, syntax file. So I have one file. The perfect file to test is a PHP file. It contains HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and obviously PHP. So I want to see if the text editor will be able to detect all those different languages by syntax. So that's what that's for. The reason I came up with this particular file is because there was one time a while back, maybe 10 years ago or so, I used Eclipse, the PHP version, and then when you had multiple languages, it would get confused. So that's why I specifically have this. I haven't seen any text editor in the last probably 3-4 years mess this up, but you never know. So that's why I kept that test there. A media file. So the reason I originally came up with the media file was sometimes I accidentally dragged and dropped a media file like a JPEG into the text editor, and then it would crash. Most of them no longer crash. I think Bluefish was probably the last one which crashed, but they no longer do that. And then obviously later on, for example, if you're working on a website, a client might send you the fav icon, or you may create one yourself. You want to drag it into the project folder, especially when using Git or something. I don't mind putting fav icons and tracking them with Git. Everything else, all the images, no, but those are fine. The Java version is OpenJDK 21.0.8. PHP version is 8.4.11 and Python version 3.13.7. The Kate version is obviously wrong. I'll change that. I have to make 2 changes here. I'll change that soon. Okay, so the test scoring is we have each feature has 2 parts. The score of 0 indicates it's a missing feature. If part of the feature works, it will get a 0.5. So to eliminate bias, I've used these text editors for at least 3 years on different platforms. So what I mean by that is obviously like Kate has been used way longer than that because I no longer have a Mac and I no longer use Windows. I don't even fire up virtual machines, but I did test them. And then obviously Kate, I showed you how I how I installed it from the repository. But if it's too dated, I might get one from the developer side. But for Kate, it's especially when I'm using Fedora, it's recent enough, so I'm fine with that. Okay, so now let's actually get started. As you can see, I'm already using a dark theme. My particular theme, I think for GNOME, I don't know if it's dark or not, but I'll show you. So to change the theme, there's a couple ways you can do this. You go to the Edit menu, and then you go to, did I mess this up here as well? Oh man, looks like I messed this up as well. Wow, that's a problem when you copy pasted stuff, especially from a previous one. You mess this up because that looks kind of like, I think, GVim. Let's figure this out. So I believe it's in settings. Yeah, here we go, settings, and you can see you can change the application style. So you can change the window color style. I said this is KDE stuff. Hi Dinshaw, I hope I said that right. How are you doing? Glad to have you here today. And obviously the editor color theme, that's the one I'm most interested in. So you can go to settings, and you see I'm using Breeze Dark. You can change, for example, I can change it to Breeze Light. You see, and because it's light, the background is light. You see now the cursor typing becomes a dark color. So I liked let's go back to the dark one. Editor theme, I think I was using Breeze Dark, so I'll use Breeze Dark. Okay, so obviously gets a 1.0. I will fix that as well once this tutorial is over. Dragging and dropping obviously works, so I do have a folder here which I use to be consistent. So for example, if I want to open up this book.xml file, I just drag it in here. You can see you open up right away. Now, if you notice something, what this does is say it reads this little pop-up here. It says LSP server start requested. Do you want the LSP server to be started? The full command is Linux. So that is a plugin. You see, it can automatically get the plugin, and then you'll be able to, I guess, correct things for XML. But this is an XML, so I don't need any color correction or anything like that. I'm fine with it because this is just some data I made up myself, right? So I will know if there's a mistake or not. So I'm going to leave that alone, and I like the color coding. I'll zoom in later. Okay. So next, the one that really surprised me was number 3, a very large file. So you see this one is 1 gig.txt. If I drag this in here, what is going on? Oh, yeah. So you get this little pop-up. This also happened on the old system. You get that pop-up, and then it goes away. So I was about to fail it, but you see it opened up, and you see though it was a little bit slow. So for example, I can go here and I can edit it. So you see, I can press enter, etc. So you can edit files. And one thing you do, like you see, the changes I've made. Remember, I'm not even tracking this file with Git, but you see, Kate automatically knows that I made the changes from line 37 to line 42 here. So that's great. Now I'm going to close it up, even though I have 32 gigs of RAM and etc. etc. I'm still, my mind is still on the old workstation, so I don't want any issues. So that's fine. That's the exact same thing that happened in the old workstation. I think it might even have loaded up a little bit faster on the old workstation, but that's fine. Okay, so next, multiple documents clearly can be opened. For example, you saw I had the 1 gig file there, and you can also have, so that's, the problem is they don't do tear off tabs. If you don't understand what tear off tabs is, I'll open up another document. I'll open up, say, this regex file. And tear off means I can tear this. You see, I can drag it, I can tear it off, and it open up in a new window. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let me tear it off onto a new, let me tear it off somewhere else. Yeah, see, I can't. I cannot tear it off. Did it actually do? Okay, that was weird. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, that was super weird. Yeah, so that's why it got a 0.5 there. Okay. Multiple editors can be opened as new tabs with drag, obviously. Just so you see, I have this regex file, I dragged this one here, so that got a perfect 1.0, just so me do that. Non-project files, of course, you can open them. None of these are project files. I can just simply drag and drop. I can go to File New, see File New, and I can create a file. It doesn't have to be a project. Well, that's one of the things I dislike about a lot of IDEs, because they're old-fashioned. They expect you to always have a project. And the thing is, I might just be a quick test or something. I don't always need a project. I really dislike that. So obviously that gets a 1.0, perfect 1.0. Soft wrap. So soft wrap, if you guys don't know what soft wrap means, let me zoom up here a little bit. See, that's soft wrap. You see this word LON on line 6. Once it used up all the width, it went to the next line. That's called soft wrap. The difference between soft wrap and hard wrap is that if this was a hard wrap, the word N, the period, and then the word N, they would go to the second line, so meaning to break the word. I don't know why you would need hard wrap these days, but I always like soft wrap. So obviously it does work, and it's enabled by default. I don't have to click anywhere to. It's enabled by default, which I think should be the default for all text editors, especially programming text editors. Now, what else? Where are we here? So that got a 1.0. Spell check works. For example, here you do need to enable it though, I believe. So if I type color versus color, oh, I guess it picked up versus. I spelled this wrong. So this is clearly spelled wrong. I'm not sure if there's a wavy line. I might have to change the theme. I don't think I made a wavy line. So I'm surprised they didn't pick that up. Very surprised that it didn't pick up that one. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. It does work. I might actually even have a wavy line. No, it doesn't. Text. Okay, is something missing here? That's weird. It always had the oh, spelling. There we go. Spelling. See, yeah, because I reset it to the default. By default, it doesn't do spell checking, so you need to enable it here. So let me enable it. There we go. Now it does work. I was wondering what's wrong. So clearly, it's set to the American language by default. You can see because the Canadian spelling of color. Yes, it's not a mistake. This Canadian spelling. This is the Canadian spelling of color, and it doesn't understand nano, so that's fine. So I like that. Let's try it now. I'll say this is wrong spell. Yeah, so there you go. It does work as you type. Okay. So 1.0 word count. Now for word count, what you need to do is you need to go to settings and go to where are we here? Configure Kate. Here. See, this is the thing with KDE. They give you so many options for configuration. They'll spoil you for if you like choice, they'll give you lots of choice. So here, oh, I forgot to go over a quick overview. After I finish this part, I'm going to go a quick overview of Kate. And then where do we go to? We go to appearance. There we go. So we go to appearance here, and then we go to show word. Is general. You can see here the show. See, it says show word count, and you can also show line count as well. So you see, show word count is enabled, so that's fantastic. So for example, you see here on the bottom, it's oops. You see on the bottom here, it says there's 175 words and 963 characters and etc. etc. So when you click, obviously that's only one word. You can see it says words 1 is only one word. Now if this is 1 2 3 4 5, so if I select that one, you can see here it says words 5, so that's 5 words. So that's handy, especially for someone like me, because there are times when I need that for work. All right, so I want to take where we were now. Okay, so before we go to number 10, I want to do a quick overview of Kate. So obviously you have the usual file edit, you have the menu bar there, and then you have the quick actions here, the new, open, save as, undo. Obviously you have the tabs here, and then you have the side pane. And then this should be straightforward. For example, this one is to create, to show your documents. And this one here is to show your projects, and this one is to show staged if you're using say Git. And down here the language server, that's what the LSP stands for, and the file system. So this is the folder I've opened up here. So this also says projects. All right, hi Asim, YouTube banned in Nepal. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and thanks for joining. I'm guessing you're using a VPN or another trick. So hi guys, hello, great to have you here today. Great, Hasim, thanks for joining today. Okay, so and then in the file, obviously you have the usual new, open, save, close, print, and quit, edit. You have the usual undo, cut, paste, all that stuff. And then you have the input modes, overwrite mode, read-only mode, find and replace, find in files, find in all files, etc. etc. Selection, you see you can select all, block selection, join lines, you can capitalize them, clean indentation, align, and the caret above cursor, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. View, you can change the view. You see you can split, left, right, upward, downward, vertical, horizontal, move document to a new split, vertical split or horizontal split. You can enlarge the fonts. You can do word wrap here, dynamic word wrap, that's the one I like. You have borders, show line numbers, score marks, etc. Code folding. Obviously, the markers. I like to have the markers, so I know where to fold them. The auto reload document, and you can also toggle full screen and force right to left direction. Under Go, this is where you can jump to line, jump to specific sections. And projects, I said I'm not using projects, but if you want, that's fine. And this is the language language servers for the different languages. Sessions, we've gone over this several times. You can start a new session, manage server sessions. What this means is that, for example, you see how I have 1, 2, 3, oh, actually really 2 files here. If I click on save session, it's going to save it. So next time it opens, that will be it will remember it. So that's handy, especially when you are you're working on a project and you want to open up to those files. So NetBeans does that by default. I do like that they give you an option, because sometimes I don't like that feature. I like to be able to turn it off. Okay, and then in tools, you have lots of tools here. The modes, for example, 3D for code, assembler, assembler configuration. You see hardware. What's under hardware? You can see that markup. Markup, obviously, where you have, for example, the famous HTML, JSON, other scripts and sources. Encoding, I just use the default UTF-8. I'm on Linux, so that's Unicode UTF-8. That's the one I use. But you see, you can change it very quickly. You can change the byte order mark, end of line. See, it's default, obviously, for Unix, and Unix and macOS are the same thing. And Windows, DOS, they use a different, slightly different. And of course, you can also show the terminal and focus the terminal, split it, and follow the. We'll talk about the terminal later. And you can create your own scripts. You see, or you can use the ones that emit, navigation and editing. You can switch to the command line. You can invoke code completion, spelling. We talked about that one. You can have external tools, for example, Git, Clang, Go, Qt, and diagnostic view and text to speech. Okay, and then settings, we have shown you this before. Your application, I said KDE goes crazy with settings. You can configure practically every single thing, and so you can configure Kate, the language, keyboard shortcuts. It's crazy. So this is the reason why I didn't want to install it on my system, because it's gonna drag in a whole bunch of applications I remember I just want Kate. And obviously in help, we can click on about Kate, and you can see it's 25.08.0. And then, as I said, remember we mentioned KDE, about KDE. You see, it's going to drag in KDE as well. Some, not all of it, some KDE. All right, so that's the overview. I'm going to take a short break and reply. Let's see, Sam said, I'm sorry with this loss, man. YouTube, Meta, WhatsApp, everything banned. Wow, yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Okay, so font can obviously dynamically scale. You saw that before, and I can scale it again. See, down, up. I like that. So I can scale it to my heart's content. I do like doing it. So obviously got a 1.0 for that. Find and replace. I showed you guys. You can let's go to the regex file here. You see it says nano. I'm going to change that to Kate. So what you can do, there's several ways. I'll just double click Kate, and you can see it's already highlighted there. Then you can type Control F. You see that only finds it. Usually Control H is for find and replace. However, some of them are quirky, so we go to edit here, and you can see replace is Control R. Okay, so find there, and I'll change that to Kate. Obviously this is not regular expression, but there we go. So it's nice and fast. You can also use regular expression. I'm not going to do any of that now. If you don't know what regular expressions are, for example, I don't have to type the word Kate. I can just type the word K, put a dot. That means after the letter K, everything up to the letter E, things like that. So that's just a simple regular expression. I do use it. You can also, for example, you can use regular expressions, for example, to to wrap every single line in a paragraph tag, things like that. Okay, so obviously that got a 1.0 multiple language syntax. So let's go open up our just drag and drop our PHP file, because that's the multiple language syntax. You can see here HTML. What else do we have here? We have CSS, we have JavaScript, and then we have PHP. Zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. So the syntax highlighting does work. So that's also got a multiple language. So that's got a 1.0 code forwarding. Now, if we look closely here, man, I can't see this. I don't know if it's this theme. I can't. Oh, there we go. So you when you put your mouse over here, you can see it has this little down arrow. So that means it's open. If you click it, you see then it will close it or collapse. No. Yeah, collapse it. Yeah, collapse it. No, I'm confused. This, when it's down, it's collapsed. No. Okay, I got it. When it's down, it's expanded. When it's pointing this way, it's collapsed. There we go. All right. So that's it. So that does work. So that's the code forwarding for markup languages. Yeah, that's fine. It also works for PHP and what's the other one? Here's another markup language. You see this one here, for example, this book. You can see that I can collapse and expand it. So for PHP here, it's not detecting it, but it does. Oh, here's a function, a PHP function. You can see that I can expand, I can toggle it as well. All right. So okay, number 16, select rectangular select. So let's go to the regex file here and do. Let me zoom out a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it here. I want to show you a little trick. You see, some of this have soft wrap on line 6, for example, on line 9. So when you go to selection, you see block selection here, Control Shift B. So I'll enable it, and then I just use my mouse. You see that? Right there. This is block selection. You see how smart it is? It's able to select this. You see on line 9, which remember line 9 is a dynamic zoom. It doesn't select that as well. So it's very, very smart. And then you can replace, for example, if I start typing, I just type gone. You see all that is gone. That's what block selection does. So I'm going to undo that. And you see it's still there. And obviously you can also search only in the block selection as well. So that got a perfect 1.0. And now you can also do multiple. Multiple selections. So I'll show you that again with this file. So it's Alt and left button. So left mouse button. So for example, the word book here. I'll select the word book, and I'm going to select the word room. So remember, I hold down the Alt key. Oh, why is it not working? Okay, let me hold down the Alt key, select this guy. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, did I say multiple cursors? I'm confused. It did work. Oh, I think I have to double click just a second here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It's not working. It is Alt. Again, it might. Oh, there. What is that? That was weird. Oh, I know why. Okay, I know why it's not working. It's because I have this block selection thing on. So let me remove that. Duh. Okay, so I'll pick color. Hold down the Alt key and I'll pick room. See, there we go. So that's what I call multiple selection. Okay, you know what? I like that feature, but I wish there was an indicator that you have the block selection, because you see, like, I was confused because I said this. I know that works. So even this one, you see, there's no indicator that you have it on. Obviously, it's selected. You can tell. What I'm saying is that if I was trying to do something, it's not working. There should be an indicator telling you that you have enabled it. Maybe like an icon down here, or just something. For example, what NetBeans does is there's a little icon and it's toggled when you do something like the block selection. So it's a nice little indicator, but it still get a 1.0 here. Where are we now? A distraction-free mode obviously works. You can go back to the view here, and obviously, you guys saw this before. It's right here, and you can click the not if you had a project, it'll be there, or you can just click here. It's right here, the file manager. See, right here, and it matches up with this guy here. See all the files here. So just to prove to you that they do work, I can grab, let's see, which file haven't I opened up yet? Oh, this Java file. See, I can just double click the Java file, and you see it's detecting that I don't have, it doesn't have Java language. It's offering to get it for me, but I'm not gonna, because this is not a Java tutorial. This is a text tutorial, so I'm gonna click no. But you see, that still has the syntax highlighting for Java, so that's fantastic. So number 20, obviously there's a terminal. And the terminal is, you can click down here and you get the terminal. You can also go somewhere up here to get to the terminal. I can't remember where it was, probably in the view or somewhere there. I did see it before when we were looking at the, let's see here. Yeah, focus terminal right there. See, focus terminal, you can also get it there under view. The icons are just a little bit faster. So obviously you can also get it to follow the folder as well. So I got 1.0. Now, this actually surprised me. Did you notice how, except for I think one thing, the one where it got 0, is that another 0.5? I was surprised at how high the score is, this one here. So now with that, this got a 95%. So very close to getting a perfect score. That was that low 0.5 was what prevented it from getting a. Oh no, there's another one here. Oh, the media files, they can't be dropped into the area. So what I mean by that, you see here, I can drag an image into. Oh yeah, I don't need to drag an image into here. I'm talking about here. So I'll explain to you what I mean. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Where can I go? Let's go to pictures. And let me grab this. Okay, I'll grab this one. So let's say I want to drag this one into here. You see, instead it went actually to pictures. So that's why it got a 0.1. So it was very close to getting a perfect score for those two items. But you see that's messed up because I clearly don't want that file, right? That's not desired behavior. Okay, so as I said, it got a 95% or a 9.5 out of 10, and I do like this Kate. If I was using KDE, I would definitely be using Kate. I'm on GNOME and I use Guinea and the GNOME text editor. I just did multiple ones, but Kate has really impressed me here. All right, so let's finish this up. So I do have some resources for you if you want to learn how to program. I have programming books. They're available on Amazon. You can search for Eduardo Jumbo. Links in the description. I also have programming courses on jamboshop.com. The links are also in the description. And if you need one-on-one programming tutorials, I offer personalized help and one-on-one online tutorials tailored to your needs. You can check them out on jambo.com/contact. If you need anything more like installation help, contact me on jamboservices.com/contact. The links are all in the description. So let's finish this up. Kate is a versatile, fast, and free open source text editor, perfect for developers of all levels, whether you're on Fedora, Ubuntu, or even macOS, including obviously Windows. Installing Kate is easy, and the features will make you program tasks smoother and more efficient. If you have any questions or need further assistance with Kate or any other programming topic, don't hesitate to contact me. Happy coding. Okay, so remember I told you there was a little quirk. I'm going to show you that quirk. So let's remove this folder. I don't need this folder first. I'm going to remove it out of here. DNS. Okay, that's great. Sim. Okay, so normally, what happens is if I want to get half the I want this to take up half of the screen. What I do is I just drag this, you'll notice there will be a blue background here telling me how I want it out. So if I go like this, you see that? It should be half, right? Correct? Oh, it's not working. Before it wasn't working when I started the tutorial. It would just do like a quarter. Oh, it was weird. Okay, now it's working. Okay, now it's working. Actually, let me close this and discard everything. I'll open it up again. Yeah, it was really annoying. I don't know if it was a flat pack thing. Okay, so this open up again. Let's see if it fixed this time. Okay, looks like it's fixed. Okay, I'm happy with that. It looks like they fixed it. Oh, it is fixed. It just started working. Okay, so with that said, yeah, Kate is a pretty good editor, and would I recommend you use it? Absolutely. It's fine. It's open source. Why not? All right, so let's quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day about 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join. Just go to jambo.com and then you can see this topic and upcoming topics for live stream. For example, the live stream for tomorrow is going to be on Git, the Git ignore, how to ignore unwanted files in your repositories. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. So that's done. I have a quick update for you guys. As I said, the system is now working. I'm actually using it right now. I need to do a few more tests, and I'm hoping tomorrow or Friday the GPU will arrive. Not the GPU, the cooling, the cooler for the GPU arrives. Then I will install it as well. Then I'll be able to. Let me see if we do have any AI stuff coming up soon. Well, we'll have a Blender one. So hopefully by the time this one comes up, the Blender one, I'll be using the new GPU. Right now I'm using the integrated graphics. I have my, I took out my GTX 950, it's just sitting there. I was actually going to throw this stuff out, then I realized, especially the cooling, what do you call those metal plates on for cooling? The heat sinks. I can actually use those heat sinks for something else. I think I'll do a tear down of the motherboard and the CPU fan and the graphics card, and then I'll do something with that. So if you also notice, I'm actually in a pretty good mood, or a decent mood, obviously, because number one, it rain. Looks like it might rain a little bit more, some drizzle, which will be nice for me. I'm also picking up 2 chickens, adults, on Tuesday, so that'll be great. Because all my baby chicks died, so I was pretty bummed with that. But so those adults will join the adults, so then I'll be getting eggs immediately. I think there will be that as well, and then that gives me time to finish up the shed. Everything will be great. So when I finish this shed, I plan on putting up the solar panels, and also the solar panels were bought actually last year, so I've been sitting inside the house for a while. So when I put them up, I'll show you how I program everything. I'll probably use Python. I might use C. It depends. I do have a Raspberry Pi, so I'll show you how to hook everything up. Hope you guys like that tutorial. And also one of the things I also have is where the hoop coop is. The signal, the Wi-Fi signal is not, it's a little bit too far away, it's sporadic. So maybe what I'll do with the shed, I'll buy something, maybe just a big metal pole or something, and then that'll be like a booster as well. So that'll be pretty nice. I'll show you guys how I do all that stuff as well. That probably won't be a project for this year, but probably in the future. Okay, with that said, I don't see any more chat requests, so I'm going to end this live stream, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I might do a system overview tonight if the weather stays like this, because obviously I'm inside, I can't work outside. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thanks everybody who joined in the live chat: Sasha, Dinshaw, Asim. Thanks again, guys. Everybody else, make sure you subscribe and you like and leave comments. I will reply. Okay, with that said, bye guys. See you later. Have a nice day.